You deserve better, they weren't worth it, you'll move on, don't worry. But when you're going through some hard stuff and your heart is absolutely waiting, that stuff will help us. The game changer is that you have free will. We can take control and take charge of the situation. So it's being a parent of a child or babysitting a child. You're not going to let the child do whatever it wants to do in every single moment because the child is very emotional. It's not logical. It doesn't have a lot of logic. We can't talk to a 3-year-old about how the fact that there's no apples in the house and that we can go to the grocery store in 5 minutes. Instead, what you see the 3-year-old do is scream and cry and throw a tantrum and freak out because they want the apple right now. So your emotional state and the reason why you feel the way you do all had to do with the simple fact that you let your child do whatever he or she wants to do. If she wants to obsess and look on social media and ruminate and think about and fantasize about this relationship and how it was going to be everything in the world and how you're so disappointed now because of it, then you're going to stay stuck. Now, of course, we have emotion. We have to be able to deal with our emotion. Emotional help is the key factor that most people completely overlook. It is something we're 100% not taught how to do for ourselves. Getting over someone is not emotional, it's logical. Now, I know that may sound a little ridiculous because stuff of relationships are emotional. How is this not an emotional thing? I totally understand, but the relationship was emotional. You moving on and letting go and getting over this person is not an emotional thing, it's a logical thing. What I mean by that is you can't stop loving someone, but you can decide that you're no longer going to be with someone, or you can decide that you're no longer going to obsessively think about someone. The problem is a lot of times when we're getting over someone, we want to go from 0 to 60. It doesn't work that. Letting go, forgiveness, these are all practices. These are things that you do, and over time they start to stack up. You don't start to move away from someone. So if we understand that we can't shut love off, and then getting over someone is a logical decision that we're making, a conscious decision that we're making to move ourselves forward, that healthy. When we cannot get over someone, is it because we're living too much in the past? We're living too much in the what ifs. We haven't fully accepted what has happened. All of our energy is tied up in the past, in all the what ifs, in all of the relationship was so great and reminiscing about all the good stuff, and we don't ever remind ourselves of what the realities are, then we're using that energy in this past experience and we're not using it in the present. Now, here's where the logical begins to come into play. At some point, you have to make a conscious decision on where you want to go. Do you want to stay stuck in the past or do you want to move yourself forward? Now, this is not a black or white thing because there's grieving and there is mourning and there is accepting and there is forgiving that has to be done in that past relationship. So we can dip in the past and we can work on ourselves regarding that relationship, but it has to be good stuff that is helping you to build some blocks to then move yourself forward. One of the most beneficial and honestly game-changing thing that I learned was my understood that my emotion came from the stories that I was telling myself. The thoughts that I were unknowingly feeding, whether they were good or bad, were dictating how I felt. So for you, the story might sound something. This was the love of my life. This person was so perfect. This person was my soulmate. I thought we were going to be together forever. The story could also be that this is never supposed to end. Now, here's the thing. The truth is that no one signed up to get into a relationship and then break up to have the relationship end at some point. But we also don't have control over the way that life goes, the way that people change, the way that you change. And being in a relationship makes you extremely vulnerable, then we have to accept that relationships can dissolve. So the reason why you're struggling to get over this person and the reason why you're obsessing about all of it is because of the stories that you're telling yourself. Now, the stories could be about this person or it could be about yourself. Why didn't this person change? Why didn't they love me? Why didn't they pick me? And then those stories begin to dwindle down your self-esteem. So either way, your stories are either going to hurt you and how you do yourself, or they're going to keep you stuck in this fantasy of what you've thought the relationship was when that isn't the case. The truth is that you need to look at how this person made you feel. Did this person make you feel safe? Did this person make you feel heard? Did this person change? Did you change? How were your standards in this relationship? Were they high, or quite frankly, were you settling? What do you really want in a relationship? What does a good relationship look to you? Is this person capable of being that person for you? Most people don't focus on, did you know this person? Did you get everything that made them who they are? Did you respect them? Did they respect you? When you start to answer these questions, you start to get to more of the truth. And then you realize that a lot of times it's not even this person, it's just the morning ingredient of the relationship in general. And it have nothing to do with this person. And the next concept that I want you to understand, you have to start overriding your emotion. So when I say that this is a logical thing and not an emotional thing, you are so used to running off of your emotion that you have to gain a little bit more self-control of your emotional fate. You see, when we're hurt or we lose something, it is inevitable that our ego is bruised and that we feel the sense of pain because we lost something. We have to learn how to grieve and manage it, but we also can't live in it. The problem too that I think most people have is they fill these stories of such happy memories and happy times. There's these huge expectations and projections that you will put on a relationship when it is ending because we're going through change and no one likes change. And when life does something that takes someone out of your life, you go through the detachment period. And the detachment period, which is the word of grieving, the sadness and the uncomfortableness starts to come and play. Okay, I'm sleeping alone. Okay, I'm moving out. Okay, I'm living by myself again. And we go through this detachment. It's painful. It's not only much comfortable, but in that detachment, if you remind yourself of what the real stories are and managing your uncomfortableness while you're going through this period of getting back to you, then you will be fine and then you will move on and you will heal and learn some lessons better. It is a decision that you make for yourself to say, I don't want to be stuck here anymore. I deserve to move on. I deserve to find someone else. I deserve to have a great life. Moving on is about taking action towards your life and filling it up. These are steps that you take for to rebuild yourself. This is not about how you emotionally feel because our emotions oftentimes don't make sense. Emotions within are not logical. So if we're coming from more of a logical state, then we're going to make decisions that are going to be beneficial to us in the long run. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up.